I got a lot of static for getting my shot. Okay, and so a lot of people didn't like that. And these are some of I couldn't put all the comments that they put, but here's some of the comments that came up there. And first it says, all you had to do was wait a year and you could travel. And another fellow says, sounds like you're dying to go on holiday. And that's how the questions came, or the comments came out. Well, what can I say? In my case, everybody's got a different situation. In my case, the United States government has prevented my wife and I from living together for over 20 years now. So everybody's got a different situation. Then you still have to look at this whole thing in a different light, and again, within the extinction theory, okay? Keep this in mind. And it goes something like this. Let's say they give you a sentence, a death sentence. You're going to the electric chair in 1 month. Here comes the doctor to your cell and says, we want to give you a shot in the arm. Not with a gun, right?
A shot.
Yeah, I'll give you a shot in your arm. I mean, you're going to die in 1 month. Do you think you're going to care? They give you a shot. You say, yeah, go ahead. And it's more or less like that. And
you got something you want to tell me, buddy? You gonna die in a month?
I didn't get the shot for a year and a half. I got it now because I had to travel, or I'm going to travel, and I don't want the hassle. And so they said something along those lines. Someone said, it's not a vaccine. It's a genetic serum, okay? Now the fellow says, you didn't take a vax, as it is not one. You took a gene therapy drug, and that is official. So some people say that I'm destroying my genes or changing my genes, I guess, by getting my shot, right?
You're mutating now.
Yeah, something like that. Someone says, look at Brandy Vaughan. And this lady died. She was in her 40s. She died quite early. Died of unrelated causes to the vaccine. But she worked for a pharmaceutical company, and became an atheist in pharmaceuticals and drugs, and in that whole business of medicine. And a lot of people are just like her. And so they look up to people like her who go out there and talk against doctors and hospitals and the whole business of medicine, right? And yeah, everybody reaches his own conclusion. There is a lot of commerce out there, and so I don't blame people who question all of what's going on out there, but again, everybody's got to reach his own conclusion. The issue, the way I look at it, you don't want to take an extremist view and become a flat earther in the medicine world. You can go with conspiracies as only so far, and after that, it gets ridiculous sometimes. So just keep that in mind. That's the context. Okay, and final fellow said, you've been exposed as a fool. I will no longer watch this YouTube channel.
Exposed? It makes it sound like it's a secret.
No, but the issue here is it's that there's a lot of militancy and a lot of debate going on for this issue. For me, it's a non-issue.
I have a friend who if his job made him vax to keep working, he'd quit. He told me that.
Yeah, a lot of people are very strong in their beliefs, for and against this, by the way, okay? For and against. There's a big debate out there, lots of articles, lots of people talking about this. For me, it's a non-issue altogether. Okay? Totally unrelated to anything that I do or even think about. I'm not even concerned about it. The only reason I got the vaccine is I don't want to fight City Hall. Okay? If you want to go fight City Hall, hey,
be my guest.
Knock yourself out. I don't want to go through the hassle. Let me show you some examples here. Here you have Chicago Tribune. Now asks unvaccinated travelers to quarantine. Okay, Washington Examiner. Biden administration tells unvaccinated people don't travel over Labor Day weekend. They're going to put all kinds of stuff in front of you, right? Barron's. Europe wants unvaccinated Americans to stay home. Okay. So, and it's bad news for airline stocks. You better believe it. I wouldn't be buying airline stocks just now. Maybe later on, but not now.
Unvaccinated people are becoming second-class citizens.
Yeah, and look, here you get an even worse case. You talk about the government interfering in your life. Well, here, how about this one, okay? Here's this lady, and the judge asked a mother if she got the coronavirus vaccine. She said no, and he revoked custody of her son.
Wow.
I don't know if you want to. If you want to fight City Hall, go ahead. I've got better things to do. Especially, I don't think I have that many years left in me, so I'm not going to fight this thing. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, maybe you might think differently. I don't know.
I'm not vaccinated.
Yeah, but if you're on death row, and you got, I don't know, a month to live or 2 months to live.
Do you care if they put
I don't think you would care. I don't think you would say, "Oh no, it's against my."
Maybe out of like principle, just to piss people
off.
Yeah,
that's the only reason. Yeah. But I mean,
you don't care
reality,
you don't care. Juice. You don't care. You don't care what,
yeah.
It could be the death syringe itself.
Maybe it beats the electric chair.
Okay, just put it in.
Okay. Another fellow says the conspiracy theory around vaccines that makes sense logically. A person in his 50s, 60s, or 70s probably won't get harmed by it. Then again, a senior citizen in 80s or 90s might be too fragile to receive it. The vaccine is never personalized enough to the receiver's immune system.
That makes sense.
And and you keep in mind, here's something that came out on the news and gives you an idea where this stands, okay? You have WHO, the World Health Organization, monitoring new coronavirus variant named Mu. So we have the Mu coming on. And, they've got all these variants. Are they real? Are they not real? And, they vaccinate you against one. Does that protect you against the other? So we got all these issues out there. And again, that's why I don't care about the vaccine itself. It doesn't do anything for me.
As far as more coronavirus, because as far as changing our lives, it hasn't really changed much. But for me, it hasn't changed literally anything except you have to wear a mask. No, you have to wear a mask.
Other than that, it's no biggie. And again, some people say, well, if you catch it, then you're gonna be sorry. And you'll read tons of cases out there. You'll read tons of cases of people who got the vaccine and died anyways. You get all kinds of cases. You don't even know what to believe anymore. So
this is gonna be one of those 20/20 hindsight things.
Yeah.
In hindsight, everyone's gonna be like, oh, you should have got the vaccine, or oh, you shouldn't have.
Yeah. Personally, I don't care about it. If I get the bug, assuming there is a bug, for those of you who don't believe that there's a bug, I die. That's it. We're done. I mean, I don't care either way. And again, the only reason I got the vaccine is to travel, so they don't, hassle me. Okay, another fellow brings up the issue that says, previous to the viral scam, the medical industry was the third leading cause of death by admitted reported medical errors. Bill's mother probably lived longer by not going to this incompetent cluster. And I talked about the fact that my mother died of cancer to the uterus, died at the age of 62. Had she had an operation, she probably would have lived longer. This fellow thinks otherwise. But the issue there is that everybody's becoming, an expert in health. Everybody's a shaman now, everybody goes to Google whenever they have a problem. They say, oh, why does my eye hurt? Oh, it must be this. And so they try to cure themselves. One question there is, when the end of the world comes around, you're the last human on Earth, or one of the last few, right? Do you have a doctor available to you? I mean, you have all these preppers and survivalists. A hunter who goes out there and thinks he's going to be living off the deer that he hunts. And a prepper is a guy who is a gardener. He's going to be doing gardening. And so the question is, do you have a doctor? Do you have a dentist? I mean, you start having a pain in your tooth, real bad pain, and there's no one around to cure you. Are you going to do what the guy in the movie
Castaway
did? With a rock? I hope you're brave enough, okay, to do it to yourself, because there's going to be no one around, to treat you. Okay. Had a couple of religious folk come around, says evolution BS, and another fellow also says Bill takes evolution for fact, then describes species degeneration. Okay, but see, these people believe in the Bible, and they believe that God turned silicon into carbon. He took a little bit of clay, okay, and made a man out of him. We do that typically in these accelerators. They are able to do transmutations, a little bit. God did it without all that machinery. He just took his hands and blew life into some clay and turned it into carbon.
Dude's got a point, though.
Oh, he does? Okay, what's the point? Okay.
It's obvious.
Okay.
I thought evolution is about getting stronger and growing, and species degeneration and gene washing out over time is an argument for the opposite.
Yeah, in that sense. But see, this is the problem there that I see is that people use the wrong words. What you'll find out there is that so-called scientists, biologists, whatever they're called, they go out there and they say, that he had the right tools to survive. Or they talk about better and worse. It's got nothing to do with better and worse or with being successful. These are the words they use. Those are all, qualifiers that don't belong in the discussion.
Evolution?
Yeah, because what does successful mean? We're all going to die. All species are going to die eventually. So what do you mean successful?
It just means you had a kid before you died.
Yeah,
and that kid lived long enough to have a kid.
the language is wrong. Well, we shouldn't talk about success and survival of the fittest. It's not the fittest; it's the guy who survived.
What's
The
wrong
stone.
with success, though? Success is nice as binary. It's if did you live long enough to have a kid or not?
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what success is about?
That's how you define it.
And
yeah.
maybe,
Evolutionarily speaking.
well, maybe because I would say that success is the guy who doesn't have kids.
Or that, yeah. The guy who just enjoys his life and dies.
Right, maybe that guy's successful.
I'm saying, like, evolutionarily speaking, usually that's how they qualify success.
I know, but what I'm saying, that's the wrong language. They should not use that kind of language, at least in science. I mean, you want to talk about this kind of stuff at the water cooler, fine, but in science, you should not talk about success and survival of the fittest and all this kind of stuff.
It's also opinionated.
Yeah, it's
success
opinion.
has that opinion weight to it. Like, well, if you call it success, yeah.
So this is the issue. I mean, wrong wording. Okay, another issue here. Fellow says, to support Bill's extinction theory, the UN's High Ambition Coalition wrote a document in 2020 that said a mass extinction event is well underway.
Uh-oh.
The UN also comes out a GAR report every 2 years, which discusses global collapse with scenarios.
But do those scenarios always involve pandemics?
Well, that's the next point. And the next point is, what are those mechanisms, scenarios, okay? And here you have, this is from the Wikipedia, okay? And so you've got first the ecological, this is the ecological group. What do they put? Climate change, pandemic, so we do have pandemic in
We're
there.
already halfway there.
Human activity, they say we're in the sixth mass extinction, okay?
By human activity, they mean like...
We're displacing animals and plants.
But not just that, it's also we're destroying our own environment for
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, essentially that's what they're saying, that but partly because we're destroying it, and partly because we're clearing the land, the forests, the jungles, so that we can plant stuff that's good for us. So it's all a mixture of all that, and by doing that, we're displacing all the animals. We're crowding them out. Nitrogen fixation, they talk about the nitrogen cycle, like if that's got something to do with anything. Freshwater depletion, overpopulation. Okay, they say that we are using up resources faster than can be naturally replaced, okay, or replenished. Birth rates rising in the 21st century in the developed world. That might happen, they say, okay? And Science, the magazine, says human population will grow to 11 billion by 2100, and that growth will continue into the next century. So these are what these people have in the backs of their minds. So what I can say to that is these people have no clue whatsoever what they're talking about, okay? Because population is declining. It's declining irreversibly.
Population growth is declining.
Population growth is declining. It's declining irreversibly, and that means we're going to reach ZPG at some point quite soon, I believe.
Well, irreversibly is
irreversible. No, yeah,
that's,
exactly.
That's your
And I'm
take
saying,
on it.
and I'm saying that irreversibly because our population pyramid has overturned. When it does for any species, it can never be turned back again. And what I mean is, when a species is old, not when it's young, it's just had a bottleneck, of some kind. Okay, anyways, population decline through a preference for fewer children. Okay, in developing world, demographics are assumed to be developed world demographics. Some projections suggest an extinction before the year 3000. And his fellow Leslie, mathematician, he says, well, it might even happen in the year 2400. Well, how about if they consider that it might happen in 6 years or so? Could that happen? And some models suggest the demographic transition may reverse itself due to evolutionary biology. Absolutely not. Never will happen. Okay, and then of course you have the supervolcanic eruption. You have to put that one in there.
And to finish it with a bang.
Yeah, because that's how the Permian animals supposedly died. There was a volcanic activity, because that's the pet peeve of the people who work in the Permian extinction.
It is badass.
Yeah, it's great, but you can't explain selectivity with that. So
yeah, you can. The coincidence. The rocks hit the right dudes.
Yeah. And then that was the ecological. Now they have another set, and it's first the technological. One is the nuclear and biological weapons.
Sorry, I saw extraterrestrial. I had to laugh. The aliens are coming.
More like. Then they have mitigate disease outbreaks. So we have diseases in there. Okay, creators of superintelligent entity. We're going to create these superintelligence. These robots.
Terminator. They're actually talking about Terminator.
Yeah, they're going to kill us.
We're going to make AI that's smarter than us, and then finds us obsolete and kills us.
Right, something like that.
They've actually been watching too much Matrix.
Yeah, that's what it is. Too much information.
And even then, the Matrix doesn't kill us. It just makes us.
Well, that's in the movie. In reality,
in reality, the robots will kill us.
Uncontrolled nanotechnology, creation of a micro black hole. I mean, these people really are.
Man, you never know when you make a black hole.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they go into the bathroom and make something.
And then you have genetic engineering creates a new species, so we become something different than we are today. They're known
Oh,
as post-humans
we
or
don't-
transhumans.
So that would be would that be like an extinction that they suspect the Neanderthals died of? The fact that the Neanderthals didn't die out, they just turned into us. So in that sense, we would die out
because we turn
into the next thing.
Yeah, but it gets worse because in the case of transhumans, you don't need their body anymore. It's just the intelligence floating on the internet.
Yeah.
So
I've read fiction about
now
that.
that is the Matrix right there.
Yeah.
Okay, extraterrestrial, especially NASA sponsored. Okay, geological or cosmological disaster, extraterrestrial event like asteroids, etc., supernova, gamma ray, that kind of thing. Sun's stellar evolution, what might happen in a billion years. Heat death of the universe. Now we're talking about billions of years, and then we can be invaded by militarily superior extraterrestrials. And of course, if they invade us, they absolutely must be militarily and otherwise superior to us. Is there any mention of food collapse due to the fact that our economy collapses?
Okay, now you're pulling straws. Come on, now you're pulling straws.
So why isn't that theory in the Wikipedia? Okay, why do we have all these idiotic theories?
It's not even on there. That's kind of weird that food shortage isn't even.
Yeah, it's not even considered. It's like nobody even ponders the fact. You go to the supermarket, food's there. What do you mean, Bill? What are you talking about?
It's not even like considered, like written down. But this is unlikely. It's not even like that. It's just like it's not even.
Pondered. Not even discussed. Yeah. Nobody even considers an economic collapse. And so the question is, all these UN guys, all they talk about is the same nonsense that the paleontologists, the mathematicians, all these people feed them. Posthumanists and futurologists. They all talk about the same thing, which is all this nonsense that I just read. No one talks about economic collapse. And so the question you should ask yourself, because, very few people visit this site, is you're one of the few, at least, that's exposed to the theory, whether you believe it or not. But the question, you're exposed to it. The rest of the world is completely blindsided to it, especially those people who run the world. They're blindsided to it.
That's true.
Okay.
Even preppers are blindsided to it. Yeah. Because they have like a close version.
A close?
They're close because they think it's going to be like a dip and then come back. So you just have to prepare for the dip, wait it out, and then it comes back. But, so they have like an approximate version, but they don't have this version of this is it.
That's one issue. The other issue is that a lot of these preppers and survivalists, they're just thinking about catastrophes. Like, maybe there's a flood, and so I'm going to get ready, go to the mountains with my gun, that sort of thing. Okay, Fal says, what do you think about American elite building underground bunkers? Will they have a chance?
Are they building bunkers?
Well, we don't know that they are, but let's assume that they are, okay?
I guess we wouldn't know that they are. Right?
Yeah, it should be a secret, but assuming they are. The problem is not building bunkers. Anyone can build a bunker or whatever. The issue is, can they survive even within the bunker?
It's a self-sustaining bunker.
Yeah, it's got to be a self-sustaining bunker. That's one issue. The other one is that, who are they going to put in there? Are they going to put their bodyguards in there? Well, the bodyguards won't have to respect them once they're down there. Sure. The important thing after the collapse is that you have people you can trust. That's more important than saying, I'm going to build a bunker. You can build a bunker, but if you don't have a doctor and you have an appendicitis, need an appendix, what is it? You need an appendix operation, you're dead. You have no one to cut you up.
You got people, but
they're all dead. They're all dead. They all died.
No, you can have a guy who isn't a doctor do it.
If you trust him, otherwise he's going to use the knife for something else so that he has more food for himself, right? Okay, and final issue, someone says, I will tell you where the sun is, Bill, because I'm saying here in Frankfurt we had no sun in the last 3 months. Says 4 months of sun is in sunny Oslo. Okay, and here, all I can tell you is what happened to me, and that's that, I put plants in my garden. I have a tiny garden, and here you'll see that the circles, those are peppers, and here you see cucumbers. But they're so small, you need a telescope to see them. Yeah. I didn't even think they were going to grow, and I just saw them by mistake a couple days ago, and they're growing fine. I guess they're going to grow, but because there's been no sun, I don't even think they're going to make it. I plant plants only to learn about them, okay? And, not to feed myself, fortunately.
No, we do have really nice, the spicy peppers, the hot peppers.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Those are nice with chicken.
Yeah, those we do eat.